What if we told you that one of the biggest financial mistakes people make isn't what they buy, but what they don't protect? Today, we're sitting down with an expert who's going to help us crack the code on smart financial planning and wealth protection.
Hey now. Awesome. Welcome,
Hey,
everybody. Hello,
welcome.
hello. Welcome to another episode of the Digital Mayors Podcast,
Yes, sir.
where we spotlight and highlight the people, the places, the businesses, the stories that make South Florida an amazing place to live, work, play, learn, and give. So please remember to give us a 5-star review. We would love that. That would be an amazing thing. And share this with anyone you think would enjoy it, because please, sharing is how we grow. That's the only way we
Sharing
can.
is caring,
Sharing
brother.
is caring. So yeah,
That's right.
Please share.
And today's guest is bringing the kind of wisdom that can help you sleep better at night.
Ooh, I like that.
We're talking about financial security, smart insurance decisions, and protecting what matters most. Joining us today is Bruce Weinstein, co-founder of Weinstein Insurance Solutions, and the host of the Ask the Plan Man podcast.
Yeah,
Welcome,
so,
man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, thank you.
Bruce is a financial strategist. That is what this man does. He helps people, he helps business owners build ironclad protection for their wealth. And by the way, with a book coming out in 2025, I think you might have some insights to share. So Bruce, welcome to the show.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we are grateful that you made time for us. And before we jump in,
Go ahead.
we want to talk about Home Dudes Florida, your trusted partner for property cleanouts. Whether you're selling a home, inheriting a property, or just need to clear out years of clutter, please let us do the heavy lifting literally. I mean, not us, but our team. You don't want us to be lifting your stuff. So if you need to do a property cleanout, mention the Digital Mayors podcast, and we will give you 20% off labor, up to a $250 savings.
That's nice.
Yeah, so
you
just-
didn't prove that with me.
I'm sorry, I did it on my own. Call 561-336-1231 or visit homedudesflorida.com to book today.
I like it.
Yeah,
So,
You're only responsible for $50.
50.
Yeah,
I,
the rest
I
is
can. All right, fine.
Dan's
We
got to
a
pay the
deal.
$200.
Look at that. Oh, listen, he's protecting the wrong assets over here already. This is bullshit.
I like this guy. You're just come here every time. So Bruce, let's start with the basics.
All right, let's go.
All right. So, why do most people get insurance wrong? Meaning, like, what's the biggest mistake you see?
I think people don't understand at its core what all there's a variety of insurances, right? It's auto, there's home, there's disability, there's long-term care, there's life, there's health.
It's a lot.
Yeah, where do you want to start, right? So
I don't.
the consumer has so much in front of them when it comes to decision making. There's insurance that's required. There's insurance that's discretionary, right? So how do you put your money and fix your budget? But at the end of the day, people shop price more frequently than actually need.
Right.
So if I have $1 million of liability, why do I have $200,000 of protection? Like I need $1 million of protection.
You're not protected.
Right. So down here, right, for the audience that's Florida based for you guys, is everybody's complaining, struggling. I got a text at 10:30 last night. I just got my renewal for my homeowners and it's just doubled.
Yeah.
Do you do that? Can you help me? Right. So we're feeling a lot of pain down here.
Yep.
Prices have elevated on the homes, the values, the replacement costs, the wood lumbers, right? That's your wheelhouse. And so the insurance that goes with it, people are like, well, why'd my rates just double? Well, your house doubled, right? During COVID, your
Yeah,
house
but-
went, but
Yeah, but I don't want to pay more.
right. And then auto, people are just, they again, the prices have gone up so much where they'll buy what's called state minimum, which is enough to let you drive legally.
Yeah.
And not have proper coverage. So when you got your teenage driver coming on and your rates just went up $500 a month,
My brother, right?
Just
I
went
got
through that in November.
right?
Yeah.
So I think for me, my strength is education, breaking down and understanding, so that you know what exactly you're signing up for. Right? What are you buying? Whether it's the health insurance, the life insurance, whatever, and just walk you through that process. But time and time again, people are just underinsured. You hear the thing of he died suddenly and left 3 kids, a mortgage, and a stay-at-home mom. Well, what happened to the life insurance? Like, well, they never got around to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And now the family's losing their home.
Yeah. It's one of the things that you hate until you need it.
Well, right.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to pay for something I'm not getting a benefit for until I need it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I want it.
Nobody
gotta say,
nobody
though-
wants it, but everybody needs it.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to pay for it.
No.
I got to say, though, what's really cool, I think, is so the gentleman who does my health insurance is a really good guy.
I like mine too.
And he explains deeply what it is that I'm doing, what are benefits or negatives to certain things, and I think it's wonderful. And he happens to be sitting right here.
Let's get out of here.
And,
Same guy
and
that
I
does
gotta
mine.
say, it's awesome. And then what do I say at the end after he goes through everything? I say, okay, putting what you make aside, what would you do?
Right. Correct.
Listen, I'm good at what I do. I don't want to be good at what you do. I want to have someone I can trust. Same like my financial advisor. I say, what do I do? Tell me. If
By
you
the
were
way,
me, what would you do?
I met with her the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but I met with her the other day.
I do know that.
And she told me that she sends you like little guidance once in a while. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
she answers your questions. I never even thought to ask her some questions. And
You never thought to ask the financial expert?
No.
The word advisor.
Yeah, I know.
comes with
I'm cute, but I'm not that
advice.
bright. And again, sadly, I'm not that cute.
Yeah.
That is a challenge.
So
You're cute enough.
to make that long thing shorter, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Listen, we surround ourselves with people that we trust because, again, I don't want to know your business. I want to have a basic understanding of what I'm doing, but I don't want to know the ins and outs. That's your job.
Yeah.
Right? Just like I would hope if you had questions about housing. I mean, I'm sure you have experience, but if you had deep questions, you would call and say, hey, what do you think? And we would be
Doctor
glad.
can't heal thyself, right?
Correct.
You,
Right.
you can't operate your own appendectomy.
Yes.
You need specialists. And look, people learn and absorb different ways. You know the disc profiles and the amiable, the analytic, the expressive, and the driver. So we all take in things. You and I are probably alike in that regard. Is you're just like cut to the chase, right? That's the driver in us. Like I'm a driver expressive. I don't need 35 minutes of explanation of how it all works. I want to hit the button, and the TV
Bottom
goes
line.
on.
Yeah.
I don't need the wiring, but the engineer. The analytic, he's going to want to know all the circuitry, all those wires over there with Ben, and it's like, how does all that work?
Yes.
Well, for me, it's less of my D and more of my ADHD that I can't sit and listen to.
Same.
Stuff for a long. Like people are talking and there's people walking by. I'm like, oh, what's that? Oh, anyways.
What's next? What's the next toy?
It's a tough thing. But I'll say also about the guy who helps me with my health insurance.
Yeah.
Happens to be Bruce. What I tell people about Bruce is that he makes sure that you have the best coverage for your needs at the best price. The most important thing, for me, is if something happens, not if, right? When something happens, I'm protected the best. My brother's going to be taken care of, dad's taken care of, right? Whatever it is, I'm taken care of at the best price. I want to, and you do that.
Well, we're tailors, right? It's not one size fits all.
Correct.
So when you ask the right questions and you understand the situation and the needs and you're probing, it just kind of falls into place. It's a puzzle, right? We're putting the puzzle together and say, well, listen, here are your choices. These are the prices. If you go this way, you're going to save this, but you'll be responsible for
this.
that, right? You go this way, you're going to pay more. Are you really getting anything more for it? Maybe, maybe not, but again, it's your budget and it's your wallet.
Yeah,
but
it's risk reward.
here are the options, right? So, like, I mean, do you ever show somebody one house?
Well, once in a while.
Rarely.
Once in a while.
Rarely,
Yeah,
right?
rarely.
But I'm saying, like, how rare is it somebody's like, that's good enough, right?
Right.
They want to see a few ideas.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's if it's auto insurance, it's Progressive, it's Geico, it's State Farm. It's who's in the market and where do you go? And I'll tell people more often, you know what? State Farm's doing better right now in South Florida. I'm not a State Farm agent. They're captive. Call so-and-so and I'll refer them
By the way,
to
that's
somebody.
so-and-so. Fernando Macedo. Ask Fernando.com. That's who you go. She's
great.
State Farm. If you don't know Fernando,
No,
you
I don't
will
know. Well,
you will
you'll
know
have to
Fernando.
introduce me.
She's,
Yeah.
Oh,
she's
absolutely.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's our State Farm agent.
Okay.
Yeah, we
But
love
see,
us.
so again, I'll tell people to call Geico. I'll tell people to
because
not,
you're a good person.
Not do it with me. It's not like I'm making a fortune.
Right.
It's what's best for you, and if we could save you some money not doing it with me, I don't care.
Listen, we
It's
do that
not-
in the very recent past. I had someone come to me that wanted to get a mortgage, and we had gone through their process and looked at everything. And for some reason, right, especially the big banks, once in a while, they're investors. They get a taste for a certain product, for a certain scenario. And Bank of America had a taste for this one particular, like what this guy's qualifications were. And there was rate-wise, I couldn't compete, not compete at all. Everybody else, we were all pretty much the same.
Right.
But this, I said, listen, if you don't run down to that Bank of America and get them to lock your rate right now, you're a crazy person. which fortunately he did. And hopefully that buys me some goodwill so that
course.
when his friends are looking for a mortgage, they
And it
call
does.
Yeah,
And it does.
it does. All right, so
I think good karma, it will
Pays
always
off.
come back in multitudes.
Yeah,
without
that's-
a doubt.
that's the goal.
That's all. I think that's why we all get along. Is
Yes.
we're all servants in that regard.
Yes.
It's money will be made. Money transactions will get done, but we're not going to get all of them.
correct.
Right.
And you
That's
give them
okay.
away to do right by the client. It's your reputation
Yes,
back.
it's the flow of money. That's it. We keep some, we spend some, we share some. It's flowing. I wanted to ask though. So financial planning is not just about money. It's about security, right? It's the insurance, the whole thing. It's about security long term. It's
Well-
financial, emotional, that kind of thing. Would you say?
I think to break that down a little differently is financial planning is your GPS.
Mm-hmm.
And the GPS is going to tell you where to go, what to avoid, right? What's the fastest route? What are the obstacles along the way? So if you take the plan first, it's all about the SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get into the threats, now you're talking more on the insurance side or stock market risk or lack of portfolio diversification. So, you know, your question's fair, but if you really look at the plan, is the horse to pull the cart. And then what are you putting in the cart depends on what the plan is helping us determine.
Okay,
right?
I like that.
So if you are 26 or 27 years of age
Yeah, Ben.
over there, his timeline, his goals, his objectives, and longevity is different than yours and mine, right?
Look at
And-
me,
and-
Bruce.
well, you're the.
I
I'm way older than you. So
not even. Not even.
like 10 years.
For real?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
What are you?
I'm 53.
8 years. I'll be 62.
I wouldn't have guessed that. Go, Bruce, go. Yeah.
That's why I keep it short.
There you go.
I can't. You
Go,
can't see
Bruce,
my
go.
face.
All right, so let me ask. So
So does that make sense? Like
it does.
So
But my question, like what I really wanted to ask was, can you think of a time when somebody planned properly and it helped, they'd made the right financial planning, the right insurance decisions that helped save their life, change their life. It made a difference.
So, you know, case study conversations. My strength over the years was to show people how to get to the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I mean by that?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's the finish
I
line?
used to do. I made my bones doing seminars, right? Retirement planning seminars, and I was very intentional with the target audience, 58 to 62-year-olds. Why? Well, when you identify what your A client is in business, you want to replicate and
Yes.
multiply
Yep.
your A client, right? So it's not that I couldn't help a 30-year-old, a 26-year-old, a 50-year-old, but the 58 to 62-year-old, I'm from Central New Jersey, so we had Johnson & Johnson's headquarters. We had Merck, Bristol Myers, like it was
was full.
Pharmaceutical Row, it's AT&T, it's Exxon and Mobil.
All the
like,
management, all the execs, all the employees,
exactly.
they were getting there.
So you've got My Neighbors, you know, Millionaire Next Door was a great book to read back in the day, if you haven't read it. And it's just like one of my clients, this is not the story I was going to share, but one of my clients was nothing more, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory sense, he was just the maintenance guy. He cut the grass at one of the pharmaceutical companies and retired with $1 million in his 401k.
Love that. Good for him. Smart.
Right?
Made good choices.
So, but now he's not an astute investor. He, by osmosis, the money just kind of got there. It's not like he paid attention or day traded. It just sat for 30 some years. And now it's like, what do I do with this money?
Right. Amazing.
So now he comes to my seminar and we're talking about the planning and and this and that. So it's like, well, he gets a pension, he's getting a Social Security. So the planning's putting all these components together to say, where's your finish line? When the biggest challenge, the biggest challenge I think, or insecurity people have is making that final decision, knowing they don't want to, nor hope they never go back, right? Like when I stop working, I want this to be a permanent decision,
Yes.
right? I don't want to have to be
Right.
75 and now I'm back at Walmart, you know, please put your card away, right? So that's the finish line. And then some of the backstory I may have shared with you guys in the past. My mother passed at a very young age. My mother died at 45 from cancer, right? I was only 22. So my mother lived on someday I'll. Someday I'll do this, someday I'll do that. And I talk about that on my show a lot. It'd be part of the book. So here I am 22 years of age losing my mother, and then at 23 becoming this stockbroker financial advisor, right? So for whatever reason, that my path and my journey was, why are you working to that age?
Yeah.
What's behind it? And that's the opening of my seminar is 29% of people never reach the age of 65. So if
29%,
if you take the demographics of 100 people, this is numbers I was using for decades, right? So you say of 100 people born today, 1% are going to be the Warren Buffetts of the world, right? The super wealthy. 4% are going to be financially secure, and I forget the other number. It was like 50, 60% of people are going to be relying on Social Security. And then the most stark number is 29% of people don't reach the age of 65. So when you open up the obituaries and you cross a line and say who's over 65 and below,
a third of them.
There's a lot of people there. Okay. Now, they could have been 64, they could have been 59, but my mother at 45 was never sniffing a retirement, right? She didn't make it that long. So my emphasis, my focus, my challenge was, what are you retiring to? What do you need to be financially positioned for to be secure and allow you to retire as early as possible and never look back? Why? Because nothing's guaranteed. You don't know if you're going to be 88. You could be gone at 68.
Right.
And so you work till 67 to get Social Security now, and at 68, like my fraternity brother died last week. Like he's 61. Okay, bladder cancer, right? So I'm not going to curse, but this shit's not guaranteed, right? Like, so how do you juggle that? And there's a difference of, we're all self-employed, so there's nobody behind us pushing us out or trying to replace us in a corporate environment, or you're out earning what the company wants to pay you, and you're suddenly riffed, right? So, but these people, most of the people I worked with over the years were corporate people that had a shelf life and wanted to get out, or they're just done. D-O-N-E, right? They're done. So that's the planning, that's the horse, that's the strategic side of things. And then, as we talked earlier, is the education, is understanding what this data is telling us and then how to implement, right? And so the threats and the insurance and the wealth protection is part of that, where I did a lot of long-term care back in the day.
Right.
Because here's my 62-year-old that's getting ready to retire. What's their last vulnerability? Living to 92.
Correct.
Right? Running out of
That's the
money,
danger.
or that massive expense that's going to pop up.
That makes sense. So you're releasing a book next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully this year. Hopefully
This year.
This year.
Hopefully.
Give us a sneak peek. Like, what's the idea behind it?
You just got it.
That's it? Awesome.
The book, the title's not finalized yet, but it's going to be, in essence, it's going to be the core of that financial planning journey that I share and did in my workshops and my seminars, breaking that down, because I feel like I've always had a unique view and approach, because I'm not the cookie cutter in the box, oh, page 17 of the book says you do this.
Right.
No, it's like I have a constant debate with people of when they should take their Social Security. And most professionals will tell you, well, you wait till here and your break-even's there and that's what you should do. And it's like, well, no, there's another point of view on it and nobody wants to talk to you about it. Oh, what's that? And my friend of mine, somebody I grew up with, is going through that right now. He's telling me, we had a call this week, he's getting a buyout. He just turned 62, right? My friend Chris. And he's strategically going to wait till 67 for Social Security. And I said, okay, what do you, like, you're not getting a pension? No. Well, you have your 401k and your IRA assets. Yeah. I said, what are you doing for income till Social Security? Well, I'm going to pull money out of my retirement accounts.
It's going to cost you a lot more, right?
Well, the question is, the question comes down to, from my point of view, is you're spending your money waiting to take the government's money.
Right.
Now, it's not that the government's going to cut out Social Security, right? I don't think it's eliminated. Maybe they keep raising the ages to stretch it out. But if you don't understand Social Security, it was an old man benefit when it was created in the 30s. Age 65 was mortality
End
age.
of life.
Right.
Now
That was a long life then.
that was a long life. So when Social Security was first created, it was old man benefits that if you outlived mortality, we'll give you some help.
Yeah.
Now it's an entitlement everybody gets, and we're living
And
to
we're
90.
living way longer.
Right. So if in essence, in Chris's case, from the way he described it, he's going to pull out $100,000 a year out of his retirement account for 5 years in lieu of taking his Social Security discounted at 62 to get more at 67. I'm like, what happens if you die at 68?
Right.
You just pissed away $500,000 of your money, and you're not going to get those checks at 72 that you thought you're going to get. Like, we need to break that down a little bit differently because I don't think that's the way you should go about it.
Right.
And it made him take pause, right? So, again, that's where the planning conversation comes
That's cool.
in.
Again, like it's like we talked about. You're thoughtful, and not just kind, not just nice, but you actually think. And I know that we need that because, like we talked about already, you have the expertise, you have the experience, you have just the time on the task over time. You've seen way more good and bad
Hundreds,
than we
thousands.
have. So you sharing that just gives somebody something to think about.
It's his choice,
Yeah.
right? At the end of the day, but if nobody's giving him the devil's advocate side,
Just going to follow.
Just going to go with it.
right?
Be a
So
shrew.
it's like, well, that's what I thought I was going to do. Oh, so 5 years later, he's now out that money, and look, it's not an even dollar for dollar swap, but whatever the math is that the Social Security would be, in the spread and how much he'd get later. But why spend your own money over the back end of the government? I'd rather take the money and keep. I said, how much would your $500,000 be 5 years from now
Right.
if you keep making the 10% you're making?
Right.
Like, that's the piece people don't think about is the opportunity cost of the money you used. So you're using the opportunity cost to get a higher Social Security check, but when you die, that money stops, right?
You live
So
till 173, it'll break even.
you'll
right?
be right.
Yeah.
And that's how people look at it. There is a mathematical calculation to try and do the break evens, and that's where people go with. But what they're not counting in the equation is what their money would have made if they kept it.
Right.
And then now I have that 150,000, and now I could take that 150,000. It grew to 250, and then I'm getting that extra money off of my 250 to make up what I didn't get from the Social
Yeah,
Security.
absolutely.
And then
Makes
if I
sense to me.
croak, the 250 is still in the bank.
Right.
That's especially if you're a spouse
Yes.
or have kids and heirs.
Or a mortgage or people to take care of it. That's
Yeah.
almost like he's smart.
Yeah, almost.
That's kind of cool.
40 years.
What's your favorite way to enjoy a day off in South Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, these are the questions I was afraid of.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why, you
Golf,
don't enjoy
golf.
yourself?
No, well,
Golf?
I'm golf for me is when my back is good is enjoyable. So forget the fresh air.
Yeah.
You'd think I'm 3 miles from the beach. I would be at the beach every weekend. That just never seems to happen.
No,
Only
same.
when I live in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And it's like it's
So
special,
weird.
right?
Yeah.
You're here. Well, we had a pool for our first house here. Had a pool. It's like, oh, that's nice. Like we had to put a TV out there on Sundays to watch the football games.
Yeah.
Like,
Just to get you out there.
Yeah. So we're foodies. I think you guys are foodies.
Yeah.
That's why I always like, where you guys go? Like I'm checking.
Yeah.
that
By the way,
place out.
and I say regularly, that's really one of the reasons we started the podcast, is that
Learn
learn more places.
Yeah.
And that's why the questions are in here.
Yeah.
Is we're going to ask,
The next place.
and then we're writing it down.
I had to think about a few things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so golf for me is probably the outdoory
Awesome.
thing.
That's cool.
Sports,
Yeah.
anything sports.
Seinfeld, obviously, we talked about Seinfeld. So, one anyway, right? The Ask the Plan Man.
Yeah.
We've learned that one of your secret hobbies or talents, I did not know Bruce was a seat filler, just like Cosmo
It's a seat
Kramer
filler.
Yeah.
back in the day. That is
Do you put that on your resume?
No. I
that,
kind of forgot about it.
that should be. So, besides being a seat filler, besides playing golf, do you have any talents, any hobbies that people might not know? Do you play guitar? Do you?
Gave that up.
yeah.
That kid's.
S-
I
you and
had
your wife-
electric guitar.
You and Robin go salsa dancing or something?
You know what? You get to a certain age at a point in life, you just like being home.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
I don't know what that
but
is.
just a quiet night
That's
to
nice.
decompress. You're on the go all day. You're talking with people all day.
Yeah.
You get people burnout,
Yeah.
right? You guys do way more stuff that I'm doing these days, activity wise, and it's like it's
tiring.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is.
Right?
I skipped the chamber breakfast this morning because yesterday we were doing leadership Boca.
Right.
So we were there at 7:10 yesterday. We were done with that at about 5, and then we had an event with the YMCA at FAU, and then I had a basketball game. So I left at 7 in the
9 o'clock
morning
tip-off.
and got home at 10:30. And I'm like, I'm not going to breakfast tomorrow. I literally sat on my couch for like an hour this morning, and it was the best. Oh my God, It was awesome. I mean, I'm still tired. I want to go do it again. But wow, what a
But you're also, you have younger kids.
Yeah.
My kids are all grown, and so we're empty nest, and it's the dogs, and it's just
Yeah.
it's easy to just plop on the couch. I don't have to like run to Little League and pick up a basketball and run to the Y.
I'm enjoying it every second I can.
And believe my youngest is 30, so you definitely want to
do it while you
embrace
can.
that, and no different when my kids were those ages.
Correct.
Built my career. I was in the business and left the business and came back. We talked about being in the sporting goods and baseball card business right before we came
Now
in.
we're talking.
So I had a sports card and memorabilia business in the early 90s, and I was Mr. Mom. I didn't put that on the things you don't know about me, but I stayed home. My ex-wife did not want to be a stay-at-home mother. I told you my mother passed at a young age. Right. My folks divorced when I was 8, so I was one of those kids with a kid, the latchkey kids, right? So, I had a babysitter till a certain age, and then it was like, just you let yourself home.
Yep.
So when we got pregnant with my oldest, Josh, it was kind of like, well, who's staying home? And my ex-wife, obviously, was CPA, and she's like, well, I want to work, my career, this and that, and I left Wall Street at 27 years of age, making $100,000 a year, which 1990
that was a lot of money.
That's like $7 million a year, right?
I
That
was making good money. I was successful early, and I walked away, and I stayed home for 4 years with my kids. And then my side hustle, I got into the baseball card and memorabilia business.
It's like a dream life.
Yeah.
I want to be you when I grow up.
It was the best. So I went from like 210 pounds to 165 pounds. I was so happy. There was no stress. I'm a stress eater. I was exercising. I'm playing baseball, basketball, and then taking care of the kids. And because there was no other pressure. There's no dealing with the clients and the stock market crash and going to find new money and meeting quotas and like the grind, the wheel.
Yep.
It was nice. It was awesome.
Awesome. What's one must-do or must-see thing or place in South Florida for someone from out of town?
Yeah, somebody coming to town. You say, you got to go do this.
Man, I should have prepared better. Well, you got the outlets.
Yeah.
No, kidding.
The outlets in West Palm?
Ocho Calle, right? Calle Ocho in Miami. I think we've taken
Wow,
friends.
you venture.
That's
far.
No, we'll take friends down there. That's a pretty fun area. Atlantic Avenue. We live closer to Delray, in Delray and close to Delray these days. So, spending time walking down there, going to the beach and the restaurants and the like. And there's something about Miami is just different.
Yeah.
But I'm not going out at 3 a.m. to the clubs.
No.
Right? Like that's not my scene.
Well, because are they even open at 3 anymore?
They
haven't opened yet.
I
That's
think
what
they
mean,
just opened it.
So next time you go to Calle Ocho, it's a great restaurant.
I wrote it down.
It's a little hole in the wall.
All right.
Unbelievable. El Rey de las Fritas.
Written down right here.
You have to go.
I already wrote
They
it
make
down.
these little things called fritas. It's this little sausage sandwich. They put potato sticks on it, and I prefer it with cheese, but you don't have to get it with cheese. And then you put
Crystal
hot sauce on it. It is unbelievable.
What time they close?
Yeah. There are several around Miami.
Like
That's the best one, I
Yeah.
think. We've been to a couple. It's like 8th and 17th, I think it is. They moved a couple years ago. But
we'll take people to Versailles.
Oh, yeah. It's
Take
beautiful.
the dog, sit outside.
Yeah.
They've got the
Beautiful.
outdoor area, and then we walk around the boulevard a little bit. But we're coming to as the line is we live where you vacation, right? So when I'm in New Jersey all those years, we would come down frequently, go to the cruise line. We cruise a lot, so that was kind of like what
Do you still
do in
cruise?
Florida. Yeah, I'm leaving Saturday.
Oh, awesome.
I'm going with 30. There's 35 of us, about 18 fraternity brothers and spouses, significant others, and husbands.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's really cool.
Say that part again.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I don't ask questions, Bruce.
All are welcome.
Yeah.
All are welcome. So this is our 4th year doing it.
That's cool.
These are guys that I know since I'm 18.
Wow,
We
that's a long
we
time.
do an annual golf outing up
30.
in Pittsburgh.
You know 30 people since you were 18.
Some of them still talk to me. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, do they know you're gonna be there?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So we've got like, I don't know, what is it, 18 or so cabins, but our 4th year doing it. We started during COVID. It was our 40th reunion.
Yeah.
And so we did the cruise, and it's just taken off. And, it's kind of the same guys that we golf with. So we started to say, what else do you want to do? And again, 58 to 62-year-olds, right? So
Eat, go to the beach.
They're empty nesters. Some of them are retired already. Some of them getting close. Like, so it's not the same. Like if you want to go with your buddies, your wife, how often is she going to let you do that with the kids and their schedules and everything else, right? So,
My wife is amazing. I could probably
my
do it
brother and
every
sister-in-law are
weekend if
great.
I wanted to. Is that right, honey?
right?
She won't listen to
Liz,
this. don't
Lydia,
worry.
is that
Cruise
right?
Saturday.
Yeah.
Lydia, is that the
No,
case?
to be honest,
very
my
good.
wife and I have an amazing relationship. We strongly believe in time together, and we strongly believe in time apart. She does a girls' trip every year. They go to different places. She went to Nashville this year, Toronto last year. Like, she does some cool stuff. Vegas.
It's important.
And
I think that's
I do a
important.
guy's trip every now and then, usually Vegas, just because it's very low pressure. So I love gambling and I love eating. And my favorite part of Vegas, I know this is so stupid. My favorite part of Vegas is that I can gamble. When I'm tired, I just walk to my room.
Go to your room.
Like, for me, I don't have to drive. Like, that is my draw to
back
Vegas.
upstairs.
Yeah. And just to be clear, too, it's not like a gambling problem.
Oh,
he has
no.
fun at it.
Yeah, of
He
course.
puts money aside specifically.
Yeah, so you want to hear what I do that's cool,
This
Mr.
is
Plan
how cool-
Man?
Yeah, this is so cool.
So my sports cards that I buy and sell, which is not a huge business, but I do a little bit.
Enjoy it.
That is my gambling money. So
Okay.
if I lose every dollar, I don't care. It doesn't affect. I don't go to win. I go to.
You had fun
have
with
Just
the,
enjoy
you had
it.
fun with the sports cards.
Yeah.
So got pleasure out of that, made some money out of that, and then takes that and goes and does something that he loves to do.
And here's what I do.
Amazing.
Because my wife helps me with the shipping. So I keep 60%. I give her 30%, and we invest 10% in the stock market.
There you go.
Right? Which I think is pretty cool. So I get to gamble, and it's
So
free.
what's the
basically.
percentage that goes to Vegas money? 30%.
Whatever. I mean, when I go to Vegas, I grab a stack and just what I'm
Grab a
bringing, whatever it
stack.
is.
Sheesh.
My wife loves nothing better when I win, and I just like hand her a couple of hundred, and she stuffs it down
Yeah.
the bra like that's for me.
Yeah.
But she don't like losing.
No.
Yeah.
Go buy yourself
well, I
something
don't
pretty.
gamble with my wife because she hates it. She doesn't like losing, and she stands behind me. She's like, "No, go ahead and play," and stands behind me. And I'm like,
they're doing
"It's."
this.
So I just say, "Honey, I'm gonna go with the guys." Like, I'm not an idiot. I'm not doing stupid stuff. I eat, I people watch, and I gamble. Like, that's all I do.
Vegas experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's one of the best things about Vegas, or
sure.
a few of the best things. So we see you around town all the time. We know you do a lot of work with the Delray Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Do you do any work? So tell us a little bit about what you do with them, and do you do any volunteer work? Tell us a little bit about what you do.
I've definitely elevated my participation and time invested with Delray more so than Boca for whatever reason. It just Delray was fitting better
Felt
for
better.
me
That's okay.
and the community there. And I moved into an ambassador role, so I've been an ambassador now for 3 years.
Nice.
I run one of their leads groups, so I took that over last year. So that's if I don't know, it's like a BNI style
Yeah.
type of thing.
We're in leads groups, different ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
Bruce,
that's
also-
how I met.
we were in a leads group
We-
together.
Oh, is that how you
We
met?
met in
Yeah.
the Boca.
I guess never understood how I met you.
Yeah.
Leads Group 4.
Yeah.
Come on, Ben, hit
Leads
me up. I got
Friday.
Leads Group 4.
Fridays 8 a.m.
Take that, Mike Piccoli. Leads Group 4.
But which is the best leads group in all of the Boca Chamber?
Leads Group 5. The one
How
my
about Leads
brother's
Group
in.
5?
Mike Piccoli. Leads Group 5. Yeah, all right. Sorry.
No, that's all right. So doing that, and then what else do? I was sponsoring events. I sponsored the new member breakfast. So I was getting more and more face time, and then towards the middle of last year, they asked me to participate on the board and be on the board of
Awesome,
directors.
man. Congrats.
So I'm now. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Didn't you just say you like to go home?
Yeah. So I'm on the board, and a lot of stuff is virtual, thankfully. But no, there's in-person stuff. But now I found out that they've asked me to be the economic development chairperson.
Oh, wow.
Which puts you on the executive committee. So now there's another layer of things
That's
I
cool
need
though,
to
man.
do.
That's really cool.
And then I'm like, well, what does that entail? What is economic development committee? Like, I'm not a real estate guy. You're the real estate guys. Like I'm don't you want me on the finance committee? Like, what do you like? That's more like, no, this would be good. Like, we need this, and this. So our mandate this year is to poll the business owners, report to the chamber and the mayor, good, bad, struggles. Like, you go downtown, like traffic is here, this, and you can't park there, and the roads are closed. Like, so as a business owner, if you're in the town, right? Like, this is in Boca, but if all of a sudden his road's closed and they're hammering all day, how soundproof are you in
Yeah,
here? If
not
somebody's
that
outside,
soundproof.
right?
Yeah.
Like, you're messing up my business. Well, the mayor needs to know about that, right? So we're doing stuff like that.
That's really cool.
To provide better feedback, give the business owners a voice. Because, I'm sure like anybody else, you feel like you're never being heard, right? Like, you can't fight City Hall. Like, you got to talk to City Hall.
Yeah.
So
The only thing that sucks about that is when you give people the opportunity to tell you the good and the bad, you usually don't hear too much good.
Yeah, it's mostly bad.
Right?
But that is kind of what they want to hear.
Yeah. Okay. So you're the guy who's going to take the punches.
So so I have a committee, and we're polling business owners. So if
That's
you are in
cool.
Delray and you want to reach out to me in that regard, I'm happy to talk with you. But yeah,
Stacey Norman, get back to him.
Yeah.
Let him know.
But I've never historically been overly involved beyond like my kids' activities and my business and then my personal time. So the volunteering, like you're big with the Y and all the stuff that I see you guys do, like it was just never like, not that it wasn't on my radar, it just wasn't something that was my thing.
Yeah,
And
that's
now,
okay.
now as the senior guy in the circuit, now in my 60s, I like the wiser older man that I've started to become. I'm like, well, I can help people, right?
Yes,
And
right.
so, you know, maybe this is my time, like to start doing more and giving back and helping in that regard. And
That's awesome.
That's cool. I like that. I keep finding that the older I get, the more grateful I get.
oh, absolutely.
I am so appreciative of the people in my life and the community that I live in. And what I was thinking when Bruce was talking just now was about the politics and, you know, the don't listen and the this and that. You know, we had Mark Wigder, city councilman for Boca, sitting in here talking to us. And how cool was it? Like, he cares.
Yeah.
And he's looking to make a difference, and he has made a difference, right? So I hope that everybody has that resource and that kind of person in their city. I mean, we need that. I love that that you're making a difference now. Thank you.
Listen, I watch and see you guys with a lot of admiration for how much you do, networking wise, community wise, giving back wise. I always tip my hat to you guys. That's why I'm like, I want to come on the show. Like, I got to shout
Thank
you
you.
guys out because like,
Appreciate
I
that.
love everything that you guys do.
appreciate
I
that.
certainly appreciate your support of me and our business, but just seeing what you're doing, and I'm jokingly saying it's a younger man's game, but you walk the walk. You're not just talking about it. You're executing it, and you're consistent and you're purposeful.
That's cool. I appreciate that.
And that's at the end of the day is the long game, right? It's you have intent. Look, I was blown away with your invite, with the list of things, and I'm like, I don't do that with my podcast. Like I don't have a list of we have this link and fill that out, and we need this, and by the way, you could park over. Like it was so thought out and purposeful. And I'm like, look at all the questions they're going to be asking me. Like, oh, well, I better watch a couple episodes and make sure I know where this thing's going.
We can
right?
get our views up. So thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you
well,
subscribe?
I did. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I said I was searching for it. And I told
and
you,
you saw that other
I
video.
saw your 2017 stuff.
I don't
I'm
know
like,
what it was. I'll have to take a look.
these guys have been doing podcasts
we're good.
before people were doing podcasts.
Yeah,
So
we
because I
invented
was wondering why you stopped.
Yeah. With faces like this, you have to.
Yeah.
No,
I got the face for radio.
same.
That's what this
Same. Ben, shut off all the cameras.
No cameras.
So let me ask you this. What, thinking back on all the people you've helped over your career, what's one of the proudest moments you've had?
So we've got to off a tangent. We were talking about the maintenance guy, but one of the biggest things that I took pride in, it was a dear friend, obviously older than me. He's probably about
35?
no, he's like got to be in his 80s now.
Oh, wow.
Maybe he just turned 80. Anyway, he was very unhealthy. He was president of my synagogue back in New Jersey, right? And, I was young in the business. He was one of my first clients back in the 80s.
Cool.
And he, diabetes, smoked, heart issues. He was unhealthy.
Yeah.
Stress. But he was successful enough where he had stock options, a nice 401k, a pension. His wife was a teacher, so she was going to get a pension. New Jersey pensions are pretty good. And I'm trying to do the math. I got him to see through the planning and the strategies that he could retire when he was like 52 or 55.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, "You're sure?" I'm like, I broke it
Here's
all
the
down.
numbers.
I'm like, because the planning again is it's time, use of money, and it's taking the money and positioning it that you'll use this here from 0 to 5 years. You'll use this money from 5 to 10. You use this out there, and so I showed him how we can implement the distribution of what he has between the stock options, and structuring this based upon his budget, based upon the lifestyle he wanted, based upon when, remember, if you just say he was retiring at 55, right? So even Social Security is still 7 years away if he was going to take it at 62, right? And then she's still working and, not taking the pension. So her income was there, but his income's dropping, and, he made good money. And I did it with the sense of like, dude, you're going to drop dead if you keep working. And so let's figure out if we can make this work. And like I said, he's like, I think he's turning 80 this year.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the fact that he's still here, I'm thrilled. He comes down, snowbirds, and
cool.
we'll golf, and like we're
Right.
very friendly. But people don't understand how to use the money and how it could work, and so he might have worked for another 10 years just to accumulate more, and then he probably would have been dying somewhere in that
Yeah.
because
Right.
his health was just not being taken care of. So I find that, and I share that story because to me, that was one of my biggest wins.
Yeah.
It's not like I made $1 million on the case. It's I helped him go enjoy a life and not kill himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome, man. It's so cool that you can help someone through that, make them realize and understand, and
It'd make a difference.
you literally help save his life,
Mhm.
potentially.
I mean,
Right? That's pretty cool.
I mean, I don't want to be that glib to say I saved his life, but yeah, I feel like you
You
don't
made a
know what
difference.
would have happened if he stayed in that work environment much longer, with smoking and diabetes. Like, it's just a ticket to disaster, right?
Yeah.
So speaking of smoking and diabetes,
Yeah, what do you got?
I don't know. It depends on your answer to this
Bad
question.
insurance rates.
Yeah, it depends on your answer to this question. So, favorite local restaurant for you and Robin, or
That I could smoke?
one? Well, if you want.
So
No, but what's your
our-
favorite local restaurant?
Our run and joke, look, we go out.
By the way, you see both of our pens?
Yeah, I see it, right. I'm not going to give you I don't think, any great secrets. The La Bamba's the default.
Oh, I like La Bamba.
I like
Right?
La Bamba.
Like La Bamba's kind of like, I don't know where you want to go. I don't know where you want to go. You want to go to La Bamba? Yeah, we go to La Bamba. So, where do we like? We're big pizza people.
Yep.
Robin, anything Italian. Robin with the red sauce, anything Italian. Where do we like? I don't have names to drop. I'm boring. You want like my top pizza places?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to know
You don't
great
want
pizza
that? I can
places.
give you my top Thai and
I
top,
like-
top
listen.
pizza places.
Two of my faves. Let's
All
go.
right. So Boynton. So I'll go to Boynton and
Okay.
then come down. So Boynton Beach Pizza is takeout only. You get a reheated slice of pizza. It's as good as New York.
Really?
We sit there in the car, go in and out for slices. The guys are awesome. They love us. They bring it out to us now. We sit in the car with the dogs. They
Yeah.
cut up a couple slices for the
Oh,
dogs.
that's cute.
So Boynton Beach Pizza. Portnoy was there
Yeah.
a while back, but you got to reheat.
Yeah.
Their slices, their pie's good. The reheat, put the crisp on that crunch and fold it, and it don't
Yeah.
flop, and the whole Portnoy. That's the thing.
One bite.
So,
Everybody knows rules.
one bite. Delray Pizza
Okay.
on
That's a good
Federal.
one, too, yeah.
Josh and Aaron.
I like that place.
They're from the next town from where I'm from, New Jersey. Like we hit it, except for them being the Cowboy fans.
Yeah, I know.
They're
It's
okay.
so weird, right?
Yeah, you can't be a Cowboy fan. They're Ranger fans and Yankee fans.
They're all confused.
I'm like,
They
"What's
make
the
good
matter
pie,
with you
though.
guys?" They're good pizza. Aunt Lulu's in kind of Middle
yeah.
Boca.
Yeah.
She's got good New York style pizza.
Portnoy was there too.
He was there.
Rated her very highly.
yeah, he did.
Very highly.
Yeah, she's awesome. Lulu's great. Slices are big.
Yeah.
And her food's good. That's over by South Winds and
Yeah.
probably where Josh's place used to be, I think, right?
Maybe not far, but yeah, like near Century Village over there in,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Boca.
yeah. Thick and Thin. Everybody raves about Thick and Thin.
Yep.
And then that area where Thick and Thin is next door is a Thai place.
Yes, that place is good. We used to get takeout.
Chow Thai, maybe?
Chow Tai.
Oh, really? I don't think
That-
I ever got takeout there.
That's the bar.
When Lydia and I used to live in West Boca, we used to get takeout from there.
Thanks
was
for,
good.
thanks for literally letting a brother know. All right.
You've probably had it at our house.
There's
probably,
good Thai around. That if somebody's like, "Where's your best Thai?" I would say,
That's it.
we'll drive out
Okay.
to West Boca there. For
I'm in.
Thai.
I like it.
And then, have you tried the Pete's Pizza yet?
Listen,
Peter's
can
Pizza?
I,
So-
so you ready for the setup?
Ready?
Yeah.
Hold on.
You got a commercial for Peter's Pizza?
Yes. All this food talk has me hungry. We have to talk about Peter's Pizza. Our favorite.
Not a setup.
Not a setup.
I didn't
Yeah,
know this-
he did not know. It's
I
our
have
favorite
I
local
have no
pizza
notes
spot.
in front of me.
Yeah.
No notes in front of me.
So Peter Izzo is the owner. He's not just a guy who wanted to open up a pizza shop, right? He spent 2 years in Naples, Italy, perfecting his craft. He now has 2 locations, one in Boca,
just open.
not far from here. It's like a mile from here on Palmetto, all the way east before you get to the ocean. And they opened up one recently in Pompano on Federal Highway across from Galuppi's. Is that how you say it?
Galuppi's, yeah.
Galuppi's.
Oh, I know what Guppies.
So Peter's is serving up handmade dough, fresh ingredients, and that perfect crispy crust. It is the best. He even has some different doughs for different pizzas.
Yeah.
The guy's amazing.
Oh, yeah. And-
so it's
and
no
he-
wonder he's got a cult following,
Yeah,
right?
but he knows this stuff, right? Remember he talked with us. We had the pleasure of going to the friends and family opening
Soft
before
opening, yeah.
before he opened the Pompano Beach store, and he was so animated talking about the different dough. Oh, because the yeast reacts with the sugars differently in this one, so it gives it a different Again, he's not a guy who just buys pre-made
No.
dough. He
And
knows
he's a young kid.
He's young.
He's a
I
young
don't think he's
guy.
30. His
No,
birthday was yesterday. He might have turned 30. I don't want to listen, Pete. Don't get mad. I don't know if he might be 30 now.
He doesn't need our help. He's doing
Super,
okay.
super friendly. Him and
he's a
one
character.
One other guy came out. They kept coming over. They were bringing us stuff we didn't order. Here, try this.
All the
Here,
time.
try that.
Did you go to this one or Pompano?
This one. I haven't been to the new one
Nicholas, guy with the tattoos and the.
And the Mohawk.
yet. No,
No?
All right,
I don't know.
that's okay.
Got a hat on.
So follow them at Peter's Pizzeria online.
Peters
and
_.
Oh, sorry, Peters _ Pizzeria. My bad. And stop by mypeters.com to place your order. It's the best.
I'm going there right after this.
The best.
Listen,
I'm so close.
we are big fans. So my brother mentioned Leadership Boca. So my brother's participating in Leadership Boca this year.
You're co-chair.
I enjoyed it so much that last year that I'm the co-chair, we had the opportunity yesterday to sponsor lunch, and we were suggested someplace else, and I said, well, Peters is a Boca Chamber member, and I called Peter, talked with Peter, and for our group of 40, we had a bunch of pizzas, including
The salad was good.
2 salads, a chopped salad.
It was like a chopped
house
antipasto.
salad.
It was
yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah, how about the gluten-free pizza?
The gluten-free pizza was actually
really good.
Yeah. Like
so again, are we fans of Peter? Have we heard of Peter's?
little bit, yeah,
Little bit.
Yeah, best in town.
We do love it, and Peter too. So now it is time for, you ready? The Book of Awesome.
The Book of Awesome.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
So really, the Book of Awesome is a book that just has. Oh yeah, I'll give you it.
He'll give you the instructions.
So it just has stuff in it that is feel good, nice, mostly feel good stuff. So our ask is, open the book to any random page, read the headline,
All right.
and let us know if it brings up a thought, a story, a memory. Just so open up and read the headline
there.
up top
Oh,
in bold. Let's see what it says.
Putting potato chips on a sandwich.
Okay.
Oh.
Listen, I know it works for
I
us.
just think this is food.
Yes.
We're back on food. So what am I?
I don't know. Does it bring up a thought or a memory? Have you done that? Or, times that you do that? Or is there a favorite sandwich you like to put potato chips on?
I definitely like trying different types of potato chips.
Have you tried? What's the one that you like? The one we get at La Spada's?
Oh my God.
Voodoo.
Voodoo chips.
Oh, the voodoo chips.
I like
yeah,
the voodoo chips.
are good. So
It's like a mix of salt and vinegar and barbecue or something like that.
I got to think of the brand. Costco's got these kettle style chips,
Okay.
and
Are they the sweet chili? Yeah, I had.
Wow.
They're at the party. They are so good.
Yes.
I don't
they
know
are
it.
so good.
but they have like different variations. The sweet chili I had, and then I went to go. I bought a bag. I'm like, oh, again, you're trying it, right? I mean, the Costco bag's only 5-pound bag of chips, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
One
by the
sitting.
weekend, I'm done. So that's why I'm always at the gym, and I'm like, it's just a unique flavor to it, and I like the crunch. I like a crunchy chip. I like the kettle chips in general, and then you go back and they're not there, right? They're gone, Ben. They're like, and then I'm looking on Amazon. I'm trying to find nowhere to find the chips. Nobody's selling them anywhere else.
What, do they have a Lester in them or something?
Yeah. Oof.
I don't
Remember a Lester?
And then they come up with other flavors, right? They would have like a green bag, which was just like something jalapeno or whatever. So I would try them, and I'm like, they're not as good as the other one.
I was gonna say that one. It's like a Hawaiian sweet chili barbecue.
But you can't get them now? Yeah, thanks.
No,
thanks
no,
for-
no, no.
Oh,
So
okay.
I just went
yeah, they have them.
and I grabbed 3 bags right before the holidays. Okay, so this is February.
Yes.
Those 2 bags are long gone, and I went back last week. I get my water, and I would like beeline to the chip aisle,
Yeah.
and I'm like, the kiosk is right there. I'm like, it's still there. And I put 4 bags
Did you
in the
really?
cart. My wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, if they're gone next time, I'm gonna be so upset. And they were $2 off.
Oh,
They were $2. I'm like, give me 4 bags.
I know where I'm going.
Okay. So
They're
with
basically paying you to eat the chips.
buy 3, buy 3 get 1 free.
essentially, and so with that, I was a victim of TikTok. I was scrolling TikTok looking for recipes for something, and I saw an advertisement for something, and I went, oh, that's pretty smart. And I bought for myself, and I gave my brother and Lydia a handful, the chip clips.
Yeah.
but they're not clips. It looks like a pen. It's a tube that has a little thing that sticks down. So you take your chip bag, you fold down the top, it slides over and seals it. So Ben, Lacey was your previous podcast you were recording before we got here. I wonder if she's ever reviewed those.
I'll definitely give her a little shout out, and
Definitely.
I'll tag her in this.
Okay. In the
post,
reel or whatever.
In the reel, what I'm doing.
But let me
and-
tell you that those chip things are so cool, right?
They
They
are.
keep chips.
Just keeps it sealed.
Yeah.
Could you
'cause
teach my children how to use them?
I've tried to teach your children.
Yeah. It's
unte-
weird. It's
They're unteachable.
just doesn't seem to work for them, but for every other human being,
Yeah.
it does.
I love that.
Awesome. So that's cool. By the way, I love chips on my sandwiches,
Mm.
and what I love even more is French fries on my sandwiches.
yeah.
Right.
That's
I know there's the Primanti brothers down in Fort
Primanti's.
Lauderdale.
No,
I
I've
think
been to
their
the
food
original
sucks,
Primanti's
personally.
in Pittsburgh.
Their fries suck. I think it's like real potatoes. I need that fake crap.
You got to go to the original Primanti's in Pittsburgh. We used
Yeah.
to row. My school was an hour away from
Oh, wow.
Pittsburgh where I went to school. Guys,
Yeah.
about the cruise I'm going on, and it'd be like 1, 2 o'clock, and guys are like, "You want to go to Primanti's?" I'm a freshman.
That's cool.
I don't know. I'm like, "What's Primanti's?" Like,
Yeah.
I'll get in the car.
And what school did you go to?
I went to Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
Okay, awesome.
IUP.
Okay.
Division II, middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an hour drive to Pittsburgh. So and most of the guys were all from Pittsburgh. But the original Primanti's was in the docks, like right where
Okay.
Pittsburgh was very
Yeah,
blue collar,
industrial.
You got all the steel mills and the docks and everything else. And Three Rivers, right? The rivers all met, and
Something
the
about the
barges
Steelers or
and
something.
stuff.
Yeah, something like that.
Go figure. And but what they have here is nowhere remotely as good as what the originals are doing, and then they eventually franchised it. But yeah, when you're 18 and they're sneaking you an Iron City Light
Oh, there you go.
beer and a Primanti sandwich, and it's got coleslaw and French fries on
Yeah.
some kind of steak sandwich thing, and the
Yeah.
bread. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I
that
love
was-
fries on it. Ugh, it's the best. Even like I don't eat McDonald's often because it is poison.
Yeah.
But every now and then you get a hankering. But there's nothing better than a freaking McDonald's cheeseburger with their fries on it. Oh my god.
You know what?
It's
You
the
know what's
best.
really good? So before I'm a lot older than my brother. I'm almost 8 years older than my brother. And before I know, right? I look like I'm about 1,000 years older than him. Before he was born, we lived in Los Angeles, California.
Never heard of
And the franchise,
You've
the
heard
big,
of it?
the big fast food franchise, one of them out there is Jack in the Box. And one of my favorite memories is once in a while, Dad would take me to Jack in the Box, and we'd get, they called it a breakfast jack, which was an egg and cheese, ham, egg, and cheese on a muffin, and he'd order French fries, and we'd put French fries on it too, and it was just delish. It was one of my favorite things. I'll talk to Dad about that maybe today.
I was never put a fry on the sandwich as much as dipping the French fry in the vanilla milkshake.
Oh, there you go.
I never did that. Do you go to Wendy's and dip the fries in the
Frosty.
frosty?
Yeah.
I mean, I used.
I tried it once.
It
I
just
liked
sounds asinine to me.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know. It was something the sweet
good.
with the
the
salt
salty.
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, dipping the French fries was a thing in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Where I'm from.
I'm from the 70s.
Yeah.
I was
The
born in
late-
79.
The late 70s. Kids these days.
Yes. So do me a favor. You grab your phone real quick.
I'm done with the book.
You're done with the
Yeah,
book.
you can just
You're
read it.
done. What is the picture on your phone lock?
Yeah, you're locked.
And what's the significance?
All right, so it's really good. So there we go.
Aw.
That's
Oh my
my,
gosh.
my Great Dane Piper,
Oh my gosh.
who is now gone literally 2 years this month.
I'm sorry.
So thank you. So Piper, we rescue Great Danes,
Mm-hmm.
and I share with you right now we have 2 boxers we just rescued.
Oh, awesome.
But over the years, we had at one point in New Jersey we had 4 Great Danes at the same time.
Wow. That sounds like a high food bill.
Yeah, they ate and crapped more than my kids did.
Yeah.
they
Amazing,
were
right?
more expensive, but we fell in love with the Dane. We've had boxers, and then we got the Danes, and we had boxers and Danes at the same time. And then when the boxers were older, then we just started rescuing. We said no more puppies. We got past that puppy stage. The kids were older, and so we've rescued 5 Great Danes. We only do seniors, so they're usually like 5 and older. And we had her a few years. How do we get her? I don't remember her backstory, but we've rescued a few down here.
Yeah.
We're involved with Great Dane Rescue,
Awesome.
a couple of groups down here. And then we rescued a female boxer right before she passed to get her some company.
Sure.
Right.
But she was fading. Like
Yeah.
the Great Dane's spine constricts, and so they lose they're in pain.
Yeah.
Their lower extremities.
Yeah,
they
they lose
sing,
mobility
and they
and-
can't, and she just quit. She just stopped
Yeah.
one day, like 2 years ago, and we.
Mm.
A shout out to Laps of Love if you ever
Yeah.
a pet owner out there. They come to your home and help do that. Yeah, nothing worse than putting your dog in a car to take it to
Yeah.
go die.
I did it a few years ago. I know.
Yeah,
It sucks.
And the dog was excited to be in the car, and it's like, no, don't be so happy.
Yeah.
We had that with our first Dane, so yeah, that's painful. But yeah, she's on there, and then I thought of it. The picture I had before that, when she passed, was a friend of mine, Michael Levine, who passed away now 10 years ago, my age. And he had cancer, and we had a journey together, and he was very close to me. And so I kept him on my phone till Piper died. So those have been the two. I mean, I've had the family and the kids, but yeah, she's there, and people are like, oh, you got a dog, it's,
Yeah, it's the reminder, the love.
yeah. It's and every now and then, I don't know how my phones work, but do you have multiple screensavers on yours?
You can. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I like every now and then, I don't know if it touches or something, and all of a sudden it vanishes, and then there's another one there, and I have to go find it. But I have my Plan Man logos.
There you go.
Nice.
That's another good one. There's another one.
I don't need
So-
to look at him.
Yeah. So you mentioned the gym.
Yeah,
We've seen a lot less of you over the past couple of years.
yeah.
Not just time, but physically. So tell us about that. Like, what's that journey been like for you? Like you again, you weren't like a great big guy. However, you've dropped a bunch of pounds.
65 pounds.
Amazing.
All told. Bounce back and forth. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind. Weight's always been a challenge since I was a younger kid. And then COVID, like everything else, it just like I had like nothing to do all day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Stress
so
eating. You already mentioned that.
Yeah. And so you're just kind of sitting there, and the numbers were getting pretty nasty. But what really happened is I went to an insurance event, and I got to speak at one of the breakout sessions. So I wasn't main stage, but I gave a talk. I wanted to start talking more, sharing my experiences. Ultimately, you think about it, precursor to becoming the podcast show is like I have things I want to share, right? Like, so I had an opportunity to have a room in a breakout session, and it was in Dallas, and it happened to actually be on my birthday.
Oh wow.
It was my 58th birthday at the show, and I had my birthday crown on. Somebody gave me a hat, and I took a picture with Robin and some other people at the event, and I'm like, I'm a fat sausage. Oh, the picture's horrible.
Yeah, those are the worst. Seeing those pictures of yourself.
And I'm like, I don't ever want to speak on stage looking like that again. And I came home, and I wound up going on a program called Optavia, bars and shakes. And, there's coaches involved, whatever. But, it's expensive. And it was something I'm like, I didn't want to commit to at the time when I first looked at it. I came home, I called her up. I'm like, get me started. And I lost 59 pounds by my 59th birthday a year later.
I followed you. I watched.
Yeah, and I posted every week. You talk about being vulnerable and using social media.
great,
And people are like, oh, I don't want to go on. I'm like, you know what?
It is what it is.
I own it. And it made me accountable. And yeah, I might have a bad week, or I, slipped or did whatever. I'll do it next week. I went on a cruise. I would post like, I'm on a cruise. I'm working out every day. I put on 5 pounds. I took it right off. Like it was just whatever it was. But what was more enjoyable out of it was how many people would support me, but more so, you're motivating me.
Correct.
Like I still run into people like I'm still following you, like I'm still
awesome.
on my journey.
Yes.
I've lost, and I probably had over 25 people took charge of their own health and weight
That's cool.
from doing that.
I love that.
And there's no way on earth they would want to post themselves. Like that's most of us have that insecurity. But they're like the fact that you posted just motivated me. Like I could do this behind closed doors. Like I don't need to promote it.
Right.
Like just do it.
I love that.
And
awesome.
so that inspired me more.
Good
I
for
should
you.
probably post. I stopped.
Yeah.
Stopped.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
keep going,
absolutely
man.
should post
Because
again.
you're still looking great, and
Thank
you're
you.
maintaining.
Yeah.
You're still moving in the right direction.
I'm
Right,
a
and
yo-yo. It's we get this food headspace, type of thing. We're talking foodies all the time, and everything we're running down the list is not exactly the low carb,
Right.
weight loss diets, right?
Yeah.
So it ebbs and flows. I'm going on a cruise 2 days.
Yeah.
What's today? Thursday. Yeah, Saturday. I mean, last year with my fraternity brothers, I put on 10 pounds. Like those martinis,
Yeah.
the milkshake martinis they were making or whatever it was. Like, not this year.
No.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Good
not
for
doing
you.
that this year.
And speaking of losing weight, Dan,
Yes.
what do you want to talk about?
So, speaking of not carving and everything,
What do you got?
before we start to wrap up, we wanted to give a shout out to a past podcast guest, Leslie Ordonez. co-owner of Cakes de Sabores, a local bakery on Hillsborough Boulevard by Military Trail in the same plaza as Muddy Waters.
Oh, okay.
Across from Century Village in Deerfield. If you need a custom cake for any event, weddings, birthdays, corporate parties, that is the place to go. And what's the favorite thing?
Cake sticks.
Cake sticks.
Cake sticks.
Ben, cake sticks? We are fans
I love me some cake
of
sticks.
we are fans of cake sticks.
I had them at my last party.
Yes. Yeah. Cake
You
sticks.
don't have any here. I got
No,
I
they're
got the
all-
logo water. Where are the
Yeah.
cake
Oh,
sticks?
man.
We ate 'em.
I
We
need
ate
some
'em.
cake sticks.
We ate them. Listen, we cannot get enough of them in my house. We buy them by the bag, right? We buy the larger size.
Yep.
And Dad lives with me. Dad and I live together, and that bag just it creeps down all the time. It creeps down. Like I'll have
Mine
a couple
goes
of
quicker.
Yeah.
Mine's usually gone in like 3 days.
Yeah, it's amazing. But so for Cakes de Sabores, for Leslie, follow Cakes de Sabores on Instagram at Cakes de Sabores and taste the magic for yourself.
For sure.
Yeah.
I got to go there.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is so good.
Yes.
I've seen you post from there. I'm
It
like,
is so
where are
good.
you?
It is so
You
good.
tell me.
Yeah.
Worth it. Worth it. So, Bruce, if you had to sum up your best financial planning advice in just a few sentences, what would it be?
Yeah, just some high level.
It's never too late.
It's a great answer.
It's never too late. So it's one of the many lines I have is, today is the first day of the rest of your financial planning life. If you think of the financial planning journey, think back to when you were a kid skipping stones or rocks in the stream of the lake. And so what do you vision? What do you see? Is the rock skipping and there's this ripple that is being carried out.
Yeah.
And then it stops. So the financial plan is showing you your ripple. It's showing you where you're going. If you don't like where you're going, today is the first day.
Yep.
You can change that
That's cool.
direction.
That's
so it's
great.
never too early. It's never too late. The other line I have is, a financial plan is nothing more than a Polaroid in the film of your life. So think about it. It's just a snapshot. It's just giving you a moment in time to say, where am I? And am I going in that right direction? Because everything else is happening around you. Everything is obsolete. You know, you say the new phone is obsolete because the 16's coming, the 18's coming, right?
Right.
So your home value just changed. Your interest rate market just changed. Your stock portfolio just changed. Like, it's ever changing. Your budget changed. You got a new bill. The egg prices have doubled, right? So all of these things are in the way as head noise, and you constantly have to adjust and adapt and make decisions. So it's a Polaroid. It's just a snapshot.
it.
But you have to manage it ongoing. It's
love
not set it and forget it.
That's beautiful. I love that. So tell us, where can people find you and follow you? Maybe Ben can throw up the lower third on Bruce. Where can people follow you and find you and get in touch for financial advice?
The podcast is going to start its 4th year. It's called Ask, A-S-K, Ask of the Plan Man. You can go 844 Plan Man. Call me toll free anytime. You know, what else do I have here? Instagram, you know, at Ask the Plan Man. I have my Facebook page, LinkedIn, but
Just look for the plan. Ask the plan man. You'll find
anything. Ask the Plan Man.
You'll find
it's
Bruce.
out there. Our insurance business is Weinstein Wealth Insurance Solutions, or Weinstein Insurance Solutions. So you know that's the core business itself. The
Right.
branding, the show, the marketing. I do a lot behind the Plan Man.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be. Ideally, if I can, I don't know how to get rid of Weinstein Wealth altogether, but we're rebranding Plan Man Insurance.
Okay.
Because the word, when I say Weinstein Wealth Insurance Solutions, people get hung up on the word wealth, where I'm not really the Merrill Lynch stockbroker anymore. I'm all insurance. So
Right.
Plan Man Insurance,
There you go.
playing off of the Plan Man podcast, I think is more of an evolution. So I'm going to kind of lean into that.
I like that.
Awesome.
Moving forward, and then hopefully, if I can sit down and edit my book, but second half of the year.
Love that.
So
Cool.
they threw a title on it, "The Power Behind the Plan."
Okay.
I bought the domain name "What's Your Plan, Man,"
Oh, okay.
which
Yeah.
plays. So
Plays
maybe
right off it.
so the book might. I will figure out what the title and the
Yeah.
Awesome.
work and everything.
Well, at least
looks,
the
but
important parts of the content.
Keep us
anyway.
posted, though, please.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, friends, if you got value from this episode, which I know you did,
Obviously.
please subscribe to the Digital Mayors podcast. Leave us a 5-star review, please, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, you download it right at Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, wherever you do your podcast.
Or you,
so
or you
please
can
do
just
it.
go nathansonbrothers.com.
For sure.
Scroll down to the podcast logo. bring you right here.
Click it.
Yeah, click it and
I like it.
and watch and listen.
So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Bruce.
Bruce,
And
thank
to
you so much
everyone.
for your time.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye for now. Thank you. That was great. All right.
Yeah.
Little horn, little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Squaw. My brother likes to throw that.
I like to
squaw
squat. Mostly because it bothers my brother.
Doesn't bother me. It just
Bothers.
bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.